Think you need $1 million to retire? You're probably wrong. Think your Canada pension and old age security will cover it? Wrong again. And no, the lottery isn't a retirement plan. Today, we're going to bust some of the biggest myths Canadians keep believing about retirement and showing you how to chart a retirement that actually works for you. The first myth, you need $1 million to retire, and I've heard much higher figures as well. This one floats around like the gospel truth. But here's the reality. There is no universal number. Retirement isn't one size fits all. Your retirement income might come from things such as the CPP, the Canada Pension Plan, which is based on your contributions since you turned 18. Old age security, available to most Canadians who are over 65. RRSPs and TFSAs, your personal savings engines, and whatever pensions or benefits your country offers to retirees. If you live in a modest, small prairie town, your needs will be very different from someone in downtown Vancouver or London. If you own your own home versus if you rent can also make a huge difference. The key isn't hitting a magic number, it's knowing your lifestyle, your values, and your income sources. Myth number 2. Canada Pension Plan and old age security or whatever government benefits will cover most of your retirement. But let's be blunt, they likely won't. Depending on your work history and contributions, Canada Pension Plan in 2025 will likely be somewhere around $1,300 a month. Some will get more, many will get less. I personally know a lady who was at one point getting $2 a month. Old age security adds about another $700 a month. So that's roughly $2,000 a month before taxes. Now for some, that's enough. For many others, it's just the basics. That's why building retirement savings and investments and other retirement income or savings matters. They will fill the gap and give you some freedom. Myth number 3, you control when you retire. We would all love to circle a date on the calendar, 65, 60, 55 if you're really lucky, but life doesn't always cooperate. You have to take into consideration possibilities such as your health issues, being laid off from a job, having to care for a family member. Those can push people into early retirement whether they're ready or not. The answer? Flexibility. Even small investments today give you breathing room tomorrow. Myth number 4. RRSPs are always better than TFSAs. That would be registered retirement savings plans versus tax-free savings accounts. The fact is they're not competitors, they're different tools. Registered retirement savings plans give you a tax break now, and you'll be taxed later when you withdraw it, or when you die and your state has to pay tax on the full remaining balance in the year you pass away. Poor planning around retirement saving plan withdrawals can lead to huge tax bills. With tax-free savings accounts, you get no tax break when you contribute, but you're never taxed on withdrawals or what's earned inside it. So, if you're in a high tax bracket now, and you'll be in a lower one after retirement, RRSPs shine. If your income is modest or you're younger, a tax-free savings account might be the best until your income rises. And don't forget, tax-free savings accounts are great for emergency and holiday funds as well. Myth number 5, it's too late to start if you missed your 20s. Well, starting early helps. As they say, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, but the second best time is today. So if you're in your 40s or 50s or even in your 60s, you can still max out your RRSP contributions, use tax-free savings account catch-up room, delay your Canada Pension Plan for a bigger payout later, downsize or work a part-time job. The thing is, retirement's a journey. You can still change your course in mid-flight. Myth number 6 is that retirees spend less. Well, it sounds logical, but the reality, not so much, especially in the first few years of retirement. Retirement often means more spending, travel, hobbies, house renovations, helping out the kids. Later on, healthcare costs can rise, and inflation doesn't retire when you do. That $60 dinner today could well be $90 in a few years. So you need to plan for steady or even rising expenses. Now, some retirees do indeed spend less, but that may not be true for you, so I wouldn't count on it. Myth number 7, and I love this one, I'll just win the lottery. Believe it or not, a lot of North Americans secretly bank on this. In Canada, 34% of people hope to use lottery winnings for retirement, and 14% admit that they'd rely heavily on it. In the United States, more than 40% think the lottery could play a role, and nearly 1 in 5 people actually base part of their plan on winning the lottery. But let's be real, the odds are astronomically low. Relying on this is like planning a cross-country flight without enough fuel and then hoping for a tailwind. This lottery plan usually comes from desperation or lack of confidence in traditional retirement tools. It's understandable, but hope is not a strategy. And don't forget, many lottery winners are worse off several years after winning than they were before they won their millions. I personally know several people that wound up broke or worse after winning a lottery. You need to focus on what you can control. Build savings with vehicles like RRSPs and TFSAs or whatever is available in your country or region. Know your spending and create flexibility in your plan. I've mentioned in previous videos that you want to look ideally at about twice your monthly expenses as your monthly income. And myth number 8, I'll just figure it out when I get there. Look, retirement isn't something you can wing. It's potentially several decades of your life. Without a plan, you risk outliving your savings, paying extra taxes, missing out on benefits. So a good plan is going to include when to take your Canada pension and old age security, or again, whatever's offered in your country, how to withdraw your RRSP, how to make use of the tax-free benefits of tax-free savings accounts, and what to do if the market dips. Think of it as a flight plan. You can adjust, but you need a heading before you take off. So some final thoughts. Retirement isn't about hitting a magic number financially. It's about building a life you can sustain and love. Your retirement is yours to design, whether that means travel, hobbies, part-time work, volunteering, or simply peace and quiet. So don't let myths or fear hold the controls. Get curious, get informed, and start charting your course. Because retirement isn't the end of the journey, it's your next adventure. If you found this helpful, please hit like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.